What's up, everyone? I'm Z, and this channel shows you the world through my lens. I don't know, I feel like I said that weird, but whatever. We're here. Vincent's Tale. In a perfect world, it dropped last night, 11 p.m. my time. I would have reacted to it then. But look at my eyes, guys. I got two small kids. I don't sleep well. My older son, he's a little bit sick. Not super sick though, just a little bit, and his nose is getting clogged up when he's sleeping. So I think I woke up 3 times last night. So let's just say I'm glad that I didn't do it last night, because I'd be really, really upset through the night, constantly waking up. But we're doing it now. So this is, let's just scroll up, make sure we say it right. Vincent's Tale, Sunflowers. This is the prologue. I thought I'd just quickly check the pinned message here. I'm glad I did. So I'll just quickly read this. Definitely feel free to forward, guys. If you want to just jump straight to the reaction, you can definitely do that. But I just want to check everything out before I get into the track. So it says, this one was a real labor of love. As some of you will know, it wasn't easy creating these, as halfway through the process, I had a huge health crash and had to go to Mexico for a stem cell transplant. During one of the shoots for these episodes, I had an autoimmune flare that left me temporarily blind in one eye. Holy crap. But with a lot of rest and recovery and various treatments, I was finally able to come back and finish them, and we're finally here. Man, that's scary. Creating these tales allows me to be creative in ways that merges my favorite parts of film and music, and I'm so excited to share this next installment with you. So he's saying next because of Jenny and Screech, the tale, previous tale. The first installment is a prologue, which sets the scene for the first chapter of the story to be told on the 31st of this month. Exciting. We'll mark that on the calendar. Make sure to follow on Instagram, as we will be telling the story through multiple mediums and really pushing the envelope of creativity and the confines of where music can sit. I like that. I love bringing these stories and characters to life in the most immersive ways, and the Tales is such a fun space to do that. For parts of this, we will be back to the old bardcore style, nice, that some of you have come to know me from, and also taking it to some more unusual places too. Really proud of what we made here. For everyone who is new, go check out the tales of Jenny and Screech and get familiar with the previous story. Also search for Screech's Tale Instagram stories, as well as Violet's Tale Instagram stories on YouTube to check out the immersive world that we built while we were releasing them. It feels good to be back, baby. It feels good to be back, baby. Probably something like that. I'm very excited that I get to be a part of this as it's happening. So far, everything that I've listened to from REN, I was listening to much after the fact, except for the new one that he had with Token, which was super dope. But I'm very excited that I actually get to be a part of the process now. It's happening. There's new stuff. And I'm going to be checking it out with you guys. I mean, you guys probably already watched 5 or 6 reactions at this point, but I'm glad I can be your 7th. Here we go.
Tragic scenes last night in London. A 14-year-old girl was found dead from a fatal stab wound. Her attacker, a 14-year-old boy, is in critical condition after a violent altercation with a police officer.
Picking up at the end.
Is on the ground for more.
Oh, such a beautiful shame. The sunflowers will when the skies do not rain. It's a story I'm sure we all know. It's a moment of madness inside of the woes. We all fall down in London town. Shaky ground carries me. Whoa, rains down, blindingly loud. Never surrender.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm very sorry, guys. I would love to just play through this. I'm gonna try very hard not to overpause and share most of my thoughts at the end, but I just can't skate past that without hearing it again. I'm very sorry. I'm not sorry.
Shaky ground
Here.
carries me. Whoa, grass never grows, but the grass it stays greener in places unknown as we all fall down.
Ooh, grasses stays greener in places unknown. That's a very telling line. Like I feel like we could probably deep dive just into that, but I promised that I wouldn't do too much of that until the end. But this is definitely you know, the concept right there is definitely about us being such an invasive, destructive species that just destroys everything. Like if you don't realize that that's true, then you know, yeah, I'm sure there's some things that you could watch to figure that out.
But the grass it stays greener in places unknown as we all fall down in London town. Shaky ground carries me. Whoa, rains down, blindingly loud. Never surrender.
Dude, the musical like composition is insane. What is going on? Okay, we got REN on the screen now. It's the mundane, everyday rinse and repeat of life. Void of meaning, excitement. Dude, that piano was incredible. And the video editing sequence that was following along with that. Why do I feel like I just saw smoke? Okay, either I actually saw smoke or there's something wrong with my eyes. Could be something wrong with my eyes. I told you I didn't sleep well last night. But that video editing sequence that was following this kind of chaotic, really kind of eerie, you know, situation going on with the piano there, and just all of the music that was accompanying that. And knowing that this is setting the tone for what's to come, there's like, oh man, there's just like this overbearing like weight right now of like like think of like a pressure cooker, right? Or a ticking time bomb is better because they were actually playing like the clock sound, like the seconds hand sound, right, of the clock ticking. That's what it really feels like, this weight that like something's about to explode, right? Okay. All right, we got a little snippet there, a little teaser. Man, you know, if this was to build some excitement and build some expectations for the 31st. Job accomplished. Like, I didn't want that to end. The composition on this particular, piece was unbelievable. It was just so good, and you're just left with this like crazy feeling of like, almost anxiety of like, oh, something bad's about to happen. That's what it feels like. And then you get this little, clip at the end, so it definitely seems like something's gonna go down. He might end up in jail. It kind of looked like that was maybe the situation, but I don't know. I don't want to take any guesses here. But this, from a video perspective, this section here, which was like, panning the room in such an interesting way, and then when it would come back, so it showed these sunflowers, and then it would show the guy again. He's doing something else, and you could always kind of see the TV as it's panning the room, and then comes back to the flowers, and then they're on fire, and then it pans, and he's doing something else. And so it's just like a really interesting way to show this time passing. The figurative meaning, I guess, behind these sunflowers burning. I don't know, man. Like, if I try to match it with the lyrics, I'm just gonna come back here. We're gonna revisit this part.
London town, shaky ground. War rains down, blindingly loud. Never surrender.
That part's amazing.
Oh, what a terrible
Okay, so I didn't notice that before. There's definitely something right there.
scene. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines, planting seeds where the grass never grows. But the grass, it stays greener in places unknown as we all fall down.
Yeah, so man, it's tough to say. Like, I think it's talking about people being in a bad way because of the structures that are in place, the corporate greed that runs rampant through so many different parts of government, but basically everything. It doesn't even have to be government. Just like greed is just such a terrible, infectious thing, and I think that he's definitely doing some really great social commentary there. I talked about how, I think some of that, talking about the grass is greener in places unknown, that definitely applies to like humans. The grass is greener on the other side, but grass is greener in places unknown. So it's like you think the grass is greener in this other place that you're looking at, but really it's greener when you get away from all of this nonsense and you experience something new. That's what I took from that in that aspect. But then on a very literal note was how, like, we destroy everything. So grass would literally be greener in places that we don't know about because we haven't had a chance to destroy it yet. The corporation and corporate greed hasn't had a chance to exploit it yet. So that's what I took from that, is like the multiple meanings that were kind of going on. But guys, I always talk about this. I could definitely miss the point. So you guys could let me know. I'm curious at this point, like seeing the guitar here, seeing him here. He kind of looks like the person who was in the snippet later on. I wonder if this is supposed to be Ren's guitar and that they usually would be sitting together, and maybe like this is a glimpse into the future and Ren's character is gone. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. Again, I'm kind of just reaching out like what's in front of me, but if you guys have some inputs and want to correct some stuff or share some of the things that you thought, definitely comment down below and let me know. If you guys are still here, I greatly appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.